Hello everybody. Welcome to a video. And as I'm recording this, it's actually Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas to those and happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all of the holidays, and Happy New Year. I don't know when this is gonna come out. It might come out like on Christmas, or it might come out like a couple days, or it could come out on the New Year. But nonetheless, making this video. So I asked you guys, like, it's kind of, oh my god, okay, that was embarrassing. I asked you guys like a month or two, no, it's like a month, maybe a couple weeks ago, what you guys would want to see from me if I did tutorials, and the biggest thing that I got were cubes. So I'm gonna make a cube video, and then I'll go over some of the other stuff that you guys asked for. So we have our audio here. It's muted, but I only have it here because I marked the beats. So we're gonna drag our picture down, right? And we're gonna cut it to size, do what you normally do. Also, for a cube, you're gonna make sure you wanna have it in a square composition size. And if you don't, then that's okay, but I would suggest it. And this is when I would add like my sharpen and stuff, but I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna post it anywhere. So once you have that pre-composed, you're gonna add motion blur and 3D on it, and make sure you have snapping enabled. I'm basically gonna teach you how to do it. If you've seen Lauren's video, that's how I'm gonna do it. But I'm gonna teach you my graphs. But if you already know how to make a cube, skip this. But I'm just gonna go over it really quick. So you're gonna press Control D to duplicate it 5 times, because the cube has 6 faces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're gonna go to Custom View 1. We're gonna change this top one. Press R on your keyboard. Change the Y rotation to -90. Drag this until it snaps into place. You're gonna do the same thing. Change the Y rotation to -90 on the second clip, but you're gonna drag it to the other side. You're gonna drag this one. You're not gonna change any rotation, but you're just gonna drag it to make the back of the cube. So like that. You're gonna go to the next one, and you're gonna change the X rotation to -90, and we're gonna drag that up to make the top of the cube. And then we're gonna do the same thing to the next one, except we're gonna drag it to the bottom. So something like that. Now, we're not gonna do anything with this one because that's like the front of the cube. Okay, sorry about that. I literally I went out driving for like 25 minutes. Anyways, so you have your cube, right? You're gonna make a null object, bring it all the way to the top, and cut it to the side, or the length that your clips are. And then you're gonna enable motion blur and 3D on this, and you're gonna select all your clips and take this little spiral and parent it to the null, okay? So once you've done that, you're gonna wanna change the anchor point. So you're gonna press A on your keyboard, and I'm editing in a 1080 by 1080. So what I do is I change this third position to 540, which is the middle of my composition. But if you're editing in a different composition, what you can do is you can just drag this middle position till this thing is till this thing right here is in the middle of all 4 clips. But I want to be precise as possible, so I'm doing 540. So yeah, okay. So now that you have that, we're gonna switch back to active camera, and we're gonna change the scale to around like 50 to 60. You can change it to whatever you want. Do not let me encourage you to, have it only at 50 or 60, okay? Because I've done multiple things. I've had it at weird values. I've had it at like 43. There's no set way to do it. But so let's say I just want to do like a rotation. So let's just do a Y rotation, right? So there's a beat right here. Here, I'll let you listen to no, I'm not gonna listen to you listen. Anyways, so there's a beat right here. Usually what people would do is, let's just say this is 90. What people would do is they would make their graph look like this. And that's not bad. It's just really stiff, and I'm going to teach you about mid-graphs. And if you already know about mid-graphs, you can go ahead and skip. But since there's a beat right here, I'm going to drag my keyframe out to the next beat, and I'm going to edit in speed graph, and I'm going to drag these knobs so a peak forms in the middle. And I don't want to drag it too tight, but I don't want it to be too loose. So it's like something like that. So it's kind of smooth, but there's a lot more to it also. And yes, I literally am just kind of copying Lauren at this point, but I'm going to teach you how I do it, and this is how I do it. But not only that, I add a bunch of other stuff too. Like I add scale keyframes, and I add X rotation keyframes. So like I'll zoom this out like to like 30, and then I'll change the X rotation to like something like that. It's just a lot of adjusting, and then I mid-graph that too. So it probably would look something like this. I'm sorry that this is not the best sort of video. I mean, really, most of it is you just gotta experiment with it. But so it's gonna look something like that. And let's say I wanted to zoom back in. We're gonna add another null object, and we're gonna cut it to size. Oh my god, that is not the size, but we're just gonna drag these out a little bit. My bad. Okay, so you're gonna add motion blur and null, and you're gonna parent this null to the new null that you made. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a keyframe. Since we started at this, we marked this beat, and we want a beat to hit right here, right? So we're gonna keyframe our stuff at this beat. So X and Y, and let's just do scale. And then we're gonna go to the very end, because we're making a beat for this, right? We're gonna go to the end. And let's say I want it to go the other way. So let's just make it like right here. And we're gonna make this up, and we're gonna zoom it back in, right? So now we're gonna make a mid-graph, and the peak is gonna hit right here. So it's gonna look something like this. Just make my mid-graphs. Okay. So something like that. That's sort of what my cubes kind of look like. It's really slow right now, but that's okay. So we're just going to go ahead and do like some transitions, okay? Let's just do another null object, and let's just have it zoom out, because a zoom out's easy. I would not be here in editing without a zoom out. Every single edit that I do, it's a zoom out. So let's just go ahead and make a zoom out. Just have it like, I don't know, like right here. And we're going to zoom it in. And then we're going to make our graph look a little bit like this, because we're just doing a simple zoom out, zoom in, out transition. You know what I mean? So nothing too crazy. Then we're going to like go and keyframe that like right here. And we're going to keyframe this at 0. And we're going to drag this like, oh my god, like right there. And then we're going to do a little bit of this and that. So yeah, that's what it sort of looks like. Now, in this edit that I did, my Kirari one, Kirari, hold on, let me just get it real quick. It's called Cancun. I know I spelled that really wrong, but this is sort of what that edit looks like. Well, this cube looks like. Okay, you see this cube right here? There's a lot that didn't happen right here, okay? So, I mean, yes, this is how I do my cubes, but there's also a lot more. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pre-compose this, right? And then we're gonna go inside the composition, which you can just double click. So you have it pre-composed, you go double click to go inside the composition. And then we're gonna add a, you can add a light layer. I usually do parallel light layers, and it adds sort of dimension, but I'm not gonna do that right here. And you add an adjustment layer, and what you can do is you can add edge rays. Now, I have been accused of using edge rays too much, so this is a sapphire effect, so I will tell you that right now. If you don't have sapphire, you will not be able to do this effect. But I usually change the length like to all the way. I change the color to like something, I don't know, let's just change it to like a light blue, because that's what Mr. Megs is about. And I usually keyframe the center and the brightness, and I go to the end by pressing O, and I change the brightness to 0, and I just change the center to like somewhere like right here. So it's gonna look something like that. Now, that's not my favorite, but we're just gonna roll with it. And that's how I do my cubes. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna talk about shakes. Now, in that Kirari edit, I literally don't know if I'm saying her name right, but in that edit, I do some twitch shakes. So I'm gonna teach you how to do those twitch shakes that I usually do. So we're gonna go back out So we were in our pre-comp, and then we're gonna go back out to our main composition. And you can add it on an adjustment layer, or you can just put it on the pre-composition. I'm just gonna put it on the pre-composition. We're gonna put Twitch on it. I'm gonna teach you my Twitch shake, okay? So we're gonna change the speed to 80 and the amount to 40. 40, not 401. And we're gonna enable blur and slide and keyframe the amount. And then we're gonna go like 4 to 5 keyframes depending. Okay, I am sorry about that. My aunt called, but you know, that's okay. So anyways, yeah, you're gonna go like 5 to, depending on how long the clip is, I usually go like, if this is my clip right here, I would go like somewhere in the beginning of the middle. Like, okay, if we break it up into quarters, I would put it somewhere in between like 25 to 30%, which I know sounds really weird, but you just gotta trust me here. So like somewhere like right here, I'd bring it back to 0 and I'd press F9 and it looked something like this. Oh, did not mean to press caps. Okay, you cannot see it. It's very subtle, but that's the whole point of it. But let's add another one. So we're gonna like just keyframe this at 0, and then we're gonna go over here and we're gonna keyframe this at 40. And then we're gonna, since this is sort of a longer beat, I'm gonna go like right here and keyframe it at 0. And I'm gonna make my graph look a little something like this. So it's gonna look like, man, why can you not? You really cannot see that, and I have no idea why, but it's there. See, it's like very small, but you can see it. But I have 2 different Twitch shakes that I will show you. So there's this one. That's not the one that I used on my Karari edit. So I'm gonna show you. So instead, let me just not do that. Okay, instead of having it at 40, I have it at 200. So, and I'm gonna make my graph kind of very steep. So it's gonna look something, I really hope what I'm saying makes sense. So yeah, something like this. That's a little more intense. So yeah, then also inside here, what I do is I always add sort of a fisheye warp. So we're gonna add warp, and we're gonna do fisheye, and I'm just gonna change it to like 15. No, like 25. So that's what gives it this like sort of bulging effect. See, like right there. And I'm actually gonna keyframe it. So I'm gonna keyframe the bend, and we're gonna change this to -100. And then I'm gonna make our graph look something like this. And then at the end, I'm gonna go ahead and keyframe it at -100 because it's zooming out. So, and then we're gonna make the graph look something like this. And yeah, just let it pre-render. But yeah, this is basically it. So this is what it looks like with the Twitch shakes. And then, okay, so a lot of you guys also asked me about backgrounds. So I will show you that right now. So we have our stuff, right? We have our cube, right? But we need to have a background because backgrounds are very essential, because right now it looks a little bland. So what I usually do is I duplicate it and I scale it up, and I usually change the opacity to like 60, and then I add tint on it, and I change the map white to like blue. Well, you don't change it to blue. Well, you change it to blue if you want, but change it to whatever color you want first. So it looks a little something like that. But that's still a little basic, right? So what you can do is you can add flop, so it like basically mirrors it. So that looks, you just basically got to play around with effects. That's all I got to say. But I would usually add like drop shadow, and I would change the drop shadow and stuff like that. So, or another thing that I would do is I would duplicate it, scale it up just a little bit, and add BCC LED. LED, and I would change the size to like really small, and then I would add tint, and then I would add glow, and I would change this, and yeah, that's sort of basically what I do like all the time. So yeah, that's that's that. And I would add like an overlay in the back or something like that, or I would add like flashing beads. So that's really what I do. But yeah, that's this video. I'm gonna go ahead and make another one addressing other things, some of the same stuff. But thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know, because I know this tutorial is probably not the best, but thank you again, and I will see you later.